If you want to collapse time and space, if you really want to get the thing or the person or the version or the experience or all of it into your reality, then I got some hard truths that you need to stay tuned and listen to. Hey, everybody. My name is Kim Velez. I am a former trauma therapist, now turned life coach, transformational manifestation coach, whatever you want to call me. And I get to do what I love every day, thanks to you guys. So I love you all and I appreciate you all. Let's talk about this because I did a short on it the other day and I got a lot of good feedback or like a reel or whatever feedback on it. And I think it's really important because, we know with manifesting, right? We've all manifested from shitty self concepts. We've all manifested things we want. We've all manifested when we're feeling awful and not the best and everything like that, right? And it's we can do that, and at moments in our life we are going to do that because we're human and there may be something that's happening, um and it's triggering us, and so that's okay, right? You keep doing that, just keep redirecting and working through the trigger and everything you need to do to get yourself back on track, and you can still manifest what you want. But one of the things I want to talk about is when you're especially manifesting a specific person, but this goes along with money, this just goes along with anything you deem as big in your life, right? That is requiring you to shift your identity, not a fucking parking spot, not a cup of coffee, not, a feather floating in the air. We're not talking about like those minor manifestations because those aren't life-changing. So while they're fun, while it's nice to reinforce like, oh my God, look how, powerful I am, right? Like I said I wanted to see this, I wrote it down and then boom, it's there. Do that if that helps you, absolutely. But I don't really waste my time at this point with that, because I'm about the big shifts. I'm about the mind blowing. I want life altering, favorable circumstances showing up in my reality. That's the fun shit, right? Because that means I'm manifesting and creating my dream life. So one of the things that I think is really important is understanding what you're doing when you're manifesting the specific person and you're still needing them to be different. You're still hyper focusing on them and trying to get them to be different. And I want you to be honest with yourself, right? Because part of this work is radical honesty. And while sometimes we do have, a lot of times we have fucking blind spots, and that's what I am as a coach. I'm a flashlight. So I illuminate those blind spots and make them so fucking crystal obvious for you so that you can get the shifts and movement that you actually want and overcome those blind spots. But I think it's important to really understand that the version of you in the wish fulfilled, the version of you living in the end, right? So if you're doing all these Neville techniques, okay, that version of you is not the same woman who doesn't have what she wants. And the version of you in the wish fulfilled, the version of you living in the end, she's not the same version of you who thinks and believes and feels unworthy, not good enough, and has these negative associations and stories and meanings with love, with a specific person, with themselves in relation to both and more. Okay. So you have to understand that. So one of the quickest ways to shift this shit and collapse time and space is to move yourself into that version now. Start being her now. So how do you do that? Well, it's what I've been saying for 5,000 years now. Yeah, I'm really that old. I'm just kidding. No, it's what I've been saying forever, right? It's okay. If you had what you wanted, so if you really were living in the end, if you woke up right now and SP was, happily married to you, whatever the fuck you want, and everything was amazing and incredible, if you had your dream family, if you were living in your dream house, had the career of your dreams, you had the certain amount of money in your bank account, all of the above, okay? Where would you be thinking? Like, where's your focus going? What are your thoughts? What would you be observing? What would be the story in you? That's the first piece. Well, it wouldn't be, oh my God, they don't want me. Oh my God, I'm going to be broke. How am I going to pay my bills in 2 weeks? It would be none of that because you already have it. So it's there and you know it's there. So you knew it's done because it's there in your 3D. So you wouldn't be worried about that. So what would you be thinking instead? You need to come up with that. Then the second piece, right? Because I'm all about the triangular effect, the trifecta, whatever you call it. It's mental, emotional, and then habits because you're creating a new version of you. You're being someone different. So being someone different means I think different, I believe different, I feel different, and I act different. So not acting in the sense of faking, but getting crystal fucking clear of if I had that money in my bank account, if I had the relationship I wanted, if I felt safe in love, if I knew my worth and value, if I understood I was worthy of commitment, if I really fucking believed that and knew that, well, then what would I do different? What's that version of me doing different? Because the version of you, again, in the wish fulfilled, who's in the relationship of her dreams, she's not settling for crumbs. She's not allowing mistreatment. She's not being a doormat. She's not over giving to people and devaluing herself in the process. It doesn't work that way. It's impossible because she's a different identity and she operates from that identity system, which says, I am worthy and deserving. And she knows it. So then she acts accordingly. So you got to look at your behaviors and, you have to decide and understand, well, what am I doing now where I'm settling? What am I doing now where I'm saying I'm worthy of commitment, but I'm not holding myself to that fucking standard? Because every time you don't hold yourself to the standard you say you're deserving of and you want, you're being the old version of you. And if you're being the old version of you, that means the dominant mindset, the dominant belief, the dominant self concept is still the one that isn't in the wish fulfilled, which is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just understanding, oh shit, this is where I'm at still. Okay, beautiful. So what would I do instead if I knew my worth and value, if I didn't settle in love? How would I be different right now? And start doing it. And then the other thing is practice the feeling. Now, I don't believe that feeling manifests, never did. The thoughts create the feelings, but we have trained our bodies, our minds to think a certain way, to have certain perspectives and attitudes. And then we've patterned ourselves emotionally based off that. So we want to shift that, right? And then we have the behaviors that we do based off that identity. So you want to shift that. You don't want to sit here and feel like shit all day, because then when you're changing your story and you're doing different behaviors that support the version of you and the wish fulfilled, you still feel like shit dominantly, right? And the goal is, I want these things because I don't want to feel like shit. But your true power is that I don't got to feel like shit even when I don't have these things. So you have to start practicing and training your body, yourself, to feel a different state. So what would the version of you feel like in the wish fulfilled? What would the version of you feel like in the relationship of your dreams? And you can start practicing feeling that way now. And you do all those three, chef fucking kiss, baby. That's it. That's it. You do it over and over and over again until it becomes who the fuck you are, until it's natural to you, until you naturally start thinking these things and believing them, until you naturally start feeling this more and more and more. Never perfect, because our moods are going to sway because we're human and you can't avoid that. But it's understanding I can shift and program myself to feel differently when I'm thinking of love, when I'm thinking of myself in relation to love or money or whatever it is that you're doing, right? And start training yourself that, wow, this is the experience I get to have. And you're giving it to yourself now. And then you do all those three and that's it. And you just do it over and over until it becomes the natural way you think, the natural way you dominantly feel, and the natural way you dominantly move, baby, the way you're acting, the way you're conducting yourself, because you have a different self-identity in the wish fulfilled, a different self-concept than you do now. The version of you now, she wants to know her worth and value. She wants to know that, money flows to her easily and effortlessly and that she's always taken care of, right? So you're training yourself to become that version who's in the wish fulfilled, because guess what? She already knows those things. She's been living it. She's not worried about it. She fucking naturally expects it. So try it. Let me know what happens. This is what the beautiful work is. This is how one of my clients manifested not only her SP fucking back, giving her everything she want. I mean, it's a running joke with us. She's got a smorgasbord over here and she's got like 4 of them. 4 amazing, incredible men that are everything she ever wanted, pining after her, pursuing her, emotionally available, dating her, courting her, everything she's wanted. And she's fucking having a blast. And I just love this for her, because I want her to be the version of her where it's all abundant and she gets to decide and choose what she wants, rather than waiting for someone to come back in and choose her. It's just a different state. It's a more powerful state. Um, so if you want to dive in deeper with anything, check out my links below. I am having a masterclass coming up, which is going to be about trusting the unseen. I don't know when you watch this video if I'm going to be launching it yet, but if not, it'll be in the next video. If you struggle with collapsing time and space, if you are struggling with in between the manifestations, being riddled with guilt, riddled with fear, doubt, insecurity, whatever, right? I highly suggest you go to that masterclass. It's a 2-day live event. It's going to be fucking incredible. I love you all and I'll see you soon. Bye.